this new PF Chang's just opening in New York City cause such controversy?
Andrew, this new Eater article that was written by 2 veteran writers is blasting the new PF Chang's in Union Square and blasting anybody who likes this 1993 Arizona mall, unsophisticated, not supporting mom and pop businesses, not supporting Chinatown, not supporting Flushing, not supporting regional, provincial cuisines, food. You are a lowly, sophisticated person. And of course, Andrew, on the comments section, people said, you know, I've had a rough 2 to 3 years, and you are not gonna take my love of PF Chang's lettuce chicken wraps away from me. You guys are snobs. And in fact, not only will I go to this PF Chang's, this is my favorite type of Chinese food, American Chinese food. Andrew, who's right and who's wrong? We got a lot of takeaways from seemingly such a trivial thing, even though it did spark a big argument.
And at the end of this video, stay tuned because we will actually go to the new PF Chang's location that's built like a nightclub. And we will spend our hard-earned money and try the food and give it a quick Fung Bros food review in this video. So we're fusing the 2 types of videos, guys. Hot Pop always goes to PF Chang's.
So number 1, Andrew, should people shame people for having, I guess, low sophistication or suburbanized or having 1993 Arizona taste in Chinese food?
No, you shouldn't. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, if some white guy from Connecticut is like, dude, my comfort food is PF Chang's. I remember when my dad used to take us there after my lacrosse game, and I just loved it so much. I'd be like, yo, man, I can't say anything. You know what? But I will say, don't call yourself a foodie. That's all.
Right.
And if you're a food critic, like these guys writing the article, it is your job to critique and be mean. So that's what they were doing. Now, a lot of people took it personally because they were like, oh, you're attacking my child. You're attacking my taste.
It almost turned into like a woke, unwoke, but not for political issues, for like Chinese
You're
food.
trying to cancel me. You're trying to shame me. So if I got to walk into the PF Chang's with my hood up, acting like it's a strip club or something, like, you know, why are you trying to make me feel so bad? Yeah. No,
I think nowadays it's so complicated because there's more than one level. Even of Italian food, Andrew, you have like Olive Garden, which is like mall food, right? And then you have Emilio Bellatos and like Carbone, which is like in between. And then you've got your ultra authentic stuff that's like literally cooked by somebody who doesn't speak English from Italy. Yeah. So and it's not just like A or B binary anymore. It's like there's like levels to this.
Hey, listen, you know, there's a lot of great Italian food in New York City, too. So you can like Olive Garden, but you better not tell that to my face.
I will say this. I do think that Mexican food in LA and Chinese food in New York, for some reason, they've been both in those cities for 100 years. It has really struggled to push past like at least the mid price point. Like people have not really gotten into the high end. Like a lot of Chinese people in New York eat really high end Chinese food. And I know a lot of Jewish people do, but I don't see a ton of other people at really expensive Chinese restaurants. Sort of like in LA, Andrew, it's very common to be like, yo, what's your favorite authentic taco truck, dude? But people don't have their favorite authentic arroz con pollo spot or these more higher end Mexican things.
Right. David, I think the next question, and actually the next point of controversy, is that people look at PF Chang's opening in Union Square as a sign that New York City is becoming more suburbanized, meaning all these big multinational suburban chains from the mall, whether you're talking Target, Whole Foods, all these different chains, Trader Joe's, are opening up in New York City, and now New York City is becoming what? Jersey City, Westchester, whatever.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, if you look at Union Square specifically, it does look like Times Square. And Times Square for the longest time, Andrew, for national chains, multinational chains based in America, even international chains like Sony from Japan, for example, Andrew, that was the place where you could just like see your billboard amongst other big brands of the world. And it feels like New York is becoming more like that. Now, there's pros and cons to that because obviously everybody likes the Trader Joe's, which is from like Pasadena.
People go there.
And then everybody likes Starbucks and everybody likes Target. I don't know where Target's from. I'm pretty sure California too. I got to look that up. I'll pop it up. But like basically there's just not like hyper local stores and chains anymore that people grew up with 15, 20 years ago. So obviously there's going to be some loss of like local identity because people feel like it's just being like feeling like any other city in America. But even though there are conveniences that come along with that.
My actual prediction is that there will still always be a lot of mom and pop restaurants and food and desserts and coffee shops. However, a lot of the big stores are going to be multinationals. Like Key Foods, which is more of a local brand, is not going to be as prevalent as some of these other brands moving forward. Maybe, and this is just a suggestion, I don't know if the government has the money to, but maybe they could, you know, provide some type of subsidy for like the first few years of rent.
I'd be cool
like
with the subsidy for restaurants, but straight up, man, the other supermarkets are better than Key Foods. It's not even close.
You like Trader Joe's?
Key Foods is whack. Moving on to number 3, Andrew, is PF Chang's different and should it be viewed in a different light than a Hakkasan, than a Budokan, than a Nobu, than a Philippe Chow's, than a Mr. Chow's.
Yeah, because you know what? If another Philippe Chow's or Budokan or Hakkasan location opened up in another part of the city, would people really have any sort of controversy about it? Would people be complaining or no? It's because this is P.F. Chang's and it's started in 1993 in Arizona.
I think it's
That's
because
why.
it's so close to the East Village, and East Village is close to Chinatown. So I think that people have a big deal with it because it's like encroaching on the ethnic enclave zone. If this was purely Midtown, like we're talking about Times Square, I think people would just be like, yeah, that's what belongs in Times
David,
Square.
do you think the owners at P.F. Chang's are like, well, listen, you know, this may not be the most traditional Chinese food, and you got other traditional Chinese restaurants in New York City, but if the people want to come here, let them come.
Yeah.
It's capitalism.
Yeah, that's
this
true.
is a free market, baby.
There is nothing more American. I mean, I will say this. Exploring Chinese regional cuisine, to me, is not something I expect from your average American.
No, they don't have to.
No.
But just don't say you know anything about Chinese food if you don't. That's
I
okay.
wish people would give, boiling Sichuan fish spot a try, or a mala shangu or a mala tang spot a try, but it might just be like so far outside of their flavor palette, to be honest, that it would be too big of a stretch for them.
Well, David, I think, we just have to experience P.F. Chang's ourselves firsthand. We got to go there. We got to spend our hard-earned money, buy the food ourselves, and give it a shot, because I haven't been to a P.F. Chang's in literally like 20. First up, guys, we got an appetizer, lettuce cup, $17. You know this is a classic. Let's pour a little bit of this sauce on top. They probably should have given me more sauce. All good. Overall, I give this a 3.5 out of 5. It's not bad, but it's kind of just a little bit too salty and sweet. It could have had a few more extra layers to it, but it's not bad. Here we have another one of their favorites and famous ones. This is dynamite shrimp. It's inspired originally by a Japanese dish, so let's check it out. $17. Sweet, a little spicy, not bad. Reminds me of your classic rock shrimp dish. I'm gonna give this a 3.5 out of 5. Last but not least, our entree. This was $27, Mongolian beef. I have high hopes though, because this does kind of look like a real, Chinese dish with the amount of onions in there. So let's check it out. It could have had another layer of flavor. However, I'm not mad at it. Price not taken into consideration, I give it a 4 out of 5. The beef was nice and the scallions are nice. I am not comparing this to like an actual traditional Chinese restaurant. I'm comparing it to other Chinese American spots. Honestly, the food is overall not bad. I do think it's pretty pricey here. This is definitely more expensive than other P.F. Chang's around the nation, but of course you're in this cool club-like environment. They got the beats banging super loud. This fried rice has so many carrots. I don't know what to think. I've never had fried rice with so much carrots before. Let's try it. I'm gonna give the fried rice a 2.5 out of 5, but everything else was decent. Guys, after eating the food here at P.F. Chang's, two things come to mind. One, it is not going to compete with the mom and pop traditional Chinese food spots. Listen, if you're the type of person who wants to spend their money here, a lot of money here, because some of these entrees were $30, if you're gonna spend that type of money here, and this is the type of Chinese food you value, then you're probably not going to those traditional spots anyways, guys. So I don't think it's really competing directly with those spots. I think it more competes with, like a Budokan maybe. Also, another thing is, it's not offensive that it exists here. You don't have to come here and eat here if you don't want to. It is higher price, but it does kind of got a cool vibe. Kind of feels like you're in some Asian scene of a movie, maybe like some scene out of Rush Hour. If you Google Chinese type rap beat, that's essentially what they're playing right here. So, am I impressed by the food? No. But is the food bad? No. So, I don't know. If this is the extent that you want Chinese food, that's your prerogative. That's your choice. So, everybody has choices in life, all right? That's what I'm trying to say.